Okay, so we're diving deep today into something, a little more local this time.
Yeah,
Um, but it really caught my eye when you sent this over.
I know. I was excited about this one.
Yeah, this whole first annual paddle and gear exchange thing for 2025.
Hmm.
And I think this is going to be really useful for people, even if they're just, kind of getting into the whole outdoor scene or just, maybe they like community events or whatever it is.
Okay.
We're going to break this down and you found some pretty cool stuff in the materials they put out for this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is all from their promotional stuff.
Oh,
So
okay, cool.
we're going right to the source.
Awesome. So right away, what really stood out to me was just that it seems like it's going to be such a community-focused event.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that Motor City Paddle Club Kayak Rentals is hosting it,
Right.
that already tells you something right there. It's not just
Yeah.
some big corporate
Yeah.
thing. It's
Right.
really coming from people who
Yeah.
love paddling
Yeah.
and want to share that.
It seems like a really cool way to kind of get a feel for, who's who in the paddling scene around here.
Totally. And it's great timing, too. As we're heading into spring,
Yeah.
everyone's getting excited to get back on the water.
So, okay, the basics, first annual paddle and gear exchange 2025. It's all right there in the name. It's happening on Saturday, April 26th of next year.
Okay.
And I love that they already have a rain date set.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, so May 3rd, the following Saturday, just in case, Michigan weather.
Always got to be prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it's going to run from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
got it.
at Weber Paddle Park in Chesterfield Township.
Okay, cool. So mark your calendars, folks.
Yeah, and the thing that really kind of caught my attention beyond just the, buying and selling of gear, which we'll
Yeah.
get to, is that they're really emphasizing, celebrating the start of the paddling season, but also connecting outdoor enthusiasts.
Yeah, it's that community aspect.
Right.
You're really pushing that, and I
Yeah.
think that's what makes it special.
Yeah, and they're making it clear that it's for everyone, they say, family-friendly paddlers of all levels.
Right.
So whether you're like a hardcore, kayaker, or you just, paddle boarding, casually a couple times a year,
Mm-hmm.
or even if you're just like, well, I don't even know if I'm into paddling, but I like being outside.
Right. Just curious.
It seems very inclusive.
Yeah. Very welcoming.
And they literally say, come prepared to shop and connect.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about the stuff. It's about the people.
Yeah. So let's talk about the stuff, though, because I know that's what a lot of people are going to be really interested in, this gear swap and sale.
Oh, yeah.
So it seems pretty straightforward. You can bring any gently used kayaks, paddle boards, paddles, canoes, any kind of gear, really,
Yeah. Anything paddling related.
to trade, sell, or buy.
So if you're listening to this and you're already a paddler,
Right.
I mean, think about this. You could find some amazing deals.
Yeah.
Maybe that paddle you've had your eye on, but it's, a little pricey, brand new. You might find it here for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've got some stuff you're not using anymore.
Right.
Turn it into some cash.
Yeah.
And if you're new to paddling, this is the perfect way to get started
Yeah.
without spending a ton of money.
Right.
Gently used gear, often it's just as good as new.
Yeah.
And, it's got a little bit of character.
Right.
You might even find some real hidden gems out there.
Yeah. So they say discover great deals here. And who doesn't love a good deal?
Especially when it comes to getting outside.
Right, exactly. So on top of the swap itself, they're also doing raffles and giveaways.
Nice.
So you could win prizes. They've mentioned things like rental vouchers and actual gear.
Even if you're not buying or selling,
Yeah.
you could still walk away with something awesome.
Yeah, and that's a great way to maybe try paddling for the first time if you win a rental voucher.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No risk.
Yeah. And then to keep everyone, happy and energized while they're shopping and connecting, they're going to have food and refreshments.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, they just say tasty treats and beverages.
You got to have snacks.
But, I mean, come on. What's a community event without some good food and drinks?
It really makes a difference.
It does. It makes it feel more like a gathering, a celebration.
Yeah. You can hang out, chat with people,
Right.
maybe strike up a deal over a coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about, maybe you're listening to this and you're thinking, I've got a lot of gear I want to sell.
Okay.
Or maybe you have a small business
Mm-hmm.
that's related to paddle sports.
Yeah.
They're offering vendor participation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, for anyone who's really into this world,
Yeah.
this is a chance to get your stuff in front of people who are already passionate about it.
Yeah.
And it really helps support the local paddling scene, too.
Right.
You've got small businesses, individual craftspeople.
Mhm.
They can connect directly with their target audience.
Yeah. And they've got a couple different options for vendor spots. So a standard spot is just $5.
Wow.
which gets you a 10-foot by 10-foot space.
That's a good deal.
Or if you need a table, you can get a spot with a table provided for $20.
Still very reasonable.
Yeah, and those prices really tell you that it's not about, squeezing money out of the vendors.
Right.
It's about making sure there's a good variety of stuff for people to see.
Yeah, making it accessible for vendors to participate.
Exactly. There are a few guidelines for vendors just to make sure things run smoothly.
Okay.
So each spot can have up to 2 people.
Got it.
The space is, 10 by 10.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to bring a tent, you can, but only on the grassy areas.
Makes sense.
Yeah, for safety and, keeping things organized.
Right.
Vendors are responsible for their own merchandise and setup.
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
Yeah, and, if you need a table, you got to reserve it in advance.
Okay, good to know.
Vendor setup starts at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So an hour before the event opens.
So plenty of time to get settled.
Yeah. So, it's pretty clear why vendors would want to be there, right? Connect with the paddling community, share their passion.
Yeah.
But here's something really cool. All the vendor fees are going to be donated to the Clinton River Watershed Council.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Isn't that awesome?
That's perfect. It's like it aligns perfectly
Yeah.
with what paddlers care about.
Right.
Keeping the waterways clean and healthy.
So it's really a win-win.
Totally.
Yeah. And for anyone listening who's thinking about being a vendor, the message is secure your spot early to guarantee participation.
Don't miss out.
Yeah, they say spaces are limited, and they even have a, click here, reserve your spot button on their materials.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, so if you're serious about it, don't wait.
Right. Jump on it.
Oh, and one more thing that I almost forgot to mention, they do have an RSVP option.
Okay.
So even though admission to the event is free, they encourage people to RSVP.
Got it.
And when you RSVP, you get a little thank you message. But they also mention that you might get an error message.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if that happens, just try again.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I think it's just so they can get a sense of how many people to expect.
Yeah. Makes sense for planning,
Right.
food, and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so to kind of sum it all up, this first annual Paddle and Gear Exchange sounds like a really cool event.
Yeah.
It's free, it's community focused.
Mhm.
It's happening Saturday, April 26th with a rain date of May 3rd at Weber Paddle Park.
Got it.
You've got the gear swap where you might find some awesome deals,
Right?
raffles for prizes, food and drinks, chances to connect with other people who love paddling,
Yeah.
and even a chance to support a good cause through those vendor fees.
I'm sold.
And don't forget to RSVP, even though it's not required.
Boyd.
So whether you're, someone who's already, got all the gear and you're just looking for maybe an upgrade,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just starting out and you want to see what's out there,
Right.
or you just want to, enjoy a nice day outside and meet some people.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's something for everyone.
It really does. And free, that's the best part.
Yeah, and I think as you're thinking about this, just imagine, what kind of cool stuff you might find at that gear swap.
Yeah.
What kind of people you might meet,
Right.
who share your love of being out on the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just buying and selling. It's about those connections and the stories and the whole community coming together.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.